now we're gonna talk about our favorite show.
No, it's not. It's horrible. They should have just never. We're talking about And Just Like That. Come on,
Just Like That.
Oh my God! It was so
let's talk about this. First of all, Sex in the City, right? Sex in the City. We should do a poll too. We're gonna do a poll on Instagram. Who loved Sex in the City, like the original series? I'm not talking about the movies.
Okay,
seasons 1 through 6. Okay,
listen.
I love it.
Okay, seasons 1 through 6 they're okay, but like no, they're good. It's good compared to what we have to watch.
Okay,
now.
let's not. Okay, before we get to Just Like That, we're gonna talk about regular Sex in the City. Okay, so regular Sex in the City.
Because I started watching it again.
Yeah,
and then when you watch it again, you're like, damn, it's so out of date in some things.
In some things, but honestly, for its time, it was groundbreaking.
No, it was, and it was actually funny and humorous and whatever. Yeah. But like this reboot, oh my God, it's so bad. It's so bad. They destroyed, like, the characters on there are just, it's like Miranda, what happened to Miranda? Can someone explain to me why the hell she's acting like this?
It's not finding Anna, it's finding Miranda.
Oh my God, like, and like the new character Che annoys the hell out of me.
Why?
They should, if there's another season for this crap, they should not bring her back.
I think they're trying to work on inclusivity and representation, and I think that's okay.
Okay, you know what? You can do that, but not like this.
Well, okay. So your issue is not that they have like a non-binary person.
No, I don't care about that.
Your issue is just her character in general.
The character in general is
so why?
It's like they're forcing this crap. They're forcing this shit, and when I mean it, like the character, like that relationship, I just don't see Miranda doing that. That's not. It's not. It doesn't stay true to her character.
But don't you think that this is why?
Or people don't either. You like listen. She specifically said in one of those episodes in the beginning, in the original series, that I'm not gay. She says that. So how do you go back?
Maybe she's like, maybe she says that in the beginning, but like think about it like this: you have people who live life like this, come out later.
Who lives life? Dude, come on. Sex in the City, they were all pretty open about their sexuality.
Yes, but what I'm saying is like some people are like forced that, and they're like yes. But I don't know. I think the whole concept of the show is people change, and there's an episode on And Just Like That where Charlotte goes, "Why can't everybody just stay who they are?" And like I think that's
it's crap writing. These people are out of date.
I disagree.
Okay, no, it's crap. It's crap all around. And then like the people of color in the show. Okay, why are they always? Like,
I love Seema, by the way. I love Seema's character.
No, like why are they always linking them up with the other? Either you're gonna have.
What do you mean?
Okay, for example, like you wanna be inclusive. You wanna be diverse. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I'm down for that. Please, but if you notice, like these guys, like these new characters. They don't have their own storyline, and their storylines, when they try to give them their own storylines, it's always somehow linked to Miranda or to Carrie. Okay, bring these characters in, but have them be like...
Well, how else are they going to bring them in, Lina? No, I disagree. I disagree. I personally think I love Seema's character, and I love the fact that they're bringing in this whole concept of like, oh, Seema is this older lady, and like she has to pretend to have a boyfriend because her family.
Okay, that's
family functions, like because she's brown. I love that. I love that for Seema, and I love LTW. The fact that they can show somebody who is like she's a strong, educated, fashionable black woman.
Notes. I gotta bring up my notes.
No. I love LTW's character.
Hold on.
How can I not remember the actress's name? That's terrible of me. We gotta look that up because you have your phone. But no, her and then Naya's the professor. I loved, and I love the fact that like everybody has this part of them where they are like this strong professional woman, and then they are also like a human being. I don't know. I really liked it.
Okay, so I read this. This is why
the thing that killed me the most was Big's death. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I know there's all this stuff with.
What if people didn't watch?
Whatever. Sorry. Like. Nobody saw the Peloton commercial?
Listen. So this is what I wanted to bring up because I was reading a BuzzFeed article yesterday, and they made a good point, which was, quote, they tried way too hard to incorporate certain dialogue and storylines to fix the show's problematic past. Yeah. Which resulted in a lot of forced moments. That's my issue. The forced moments. Like you're forcing... Like okay, Che and Miranda. That's a forced moment for me. I mean, really,
because
you're in a marriage...
Because they never had like any like gay characters on the show before? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, they had gay characters. And
Willie Garson's character.
Listen, even if you go to the
like original, Anthony and Stanford. Oh God, Willie Garson.
Yeah.
You know, I swear to God, it is just like not the same without Willie Garson. I'm not even gonna lie, because I know that he, like, so here's the thing, right? Like, he was Carrie's best friend on the original Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And there is definitely something missing with Willie Garson's passing. Like, even in the first couple of episodes, you know, after Big Dies, sorry if you didn't watch the show Big Dies, where he comes over and they don't invite Charlotte, and he goes, sorry, I'm not a good hider. Like, it's these little things that only, like, he brought to the show.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, there's, I don't know. I mean, it's
Do you
just,
know that?
it's just
So I watched, you know
cringeworthy.
what's really sad about that? So, like, there was this, he had been sick for a really long time, and he didn't tell anybody except for Sarah Jessica Parker that he was sick, because he didn't want anybody to, like, worry. He didn't want anybody to, like, give him any special, and I was like, that's just sad. That it is really
no, he was
really
one
sad.
of the cool characters, but like,
oh, and I love Anthony's character, my favorite.
He's the one character that has stayed true to him. Thank you for him, honestly. Like, he's literally the only one that doesn't annoy the crap out of me.
You know what's funny though? I will say, like, Anthony's character, when because obviously with Willie Garson's passing, they had to find a way to write him off the show, and so I think he goes to Tokyo or something like that.
He
right?
went to Japan.
He went to Japan to work with the TikTok star, and so he writes Anthony a letter, which is like, it's absolutely like what, like, Willie Garson's character, like what Stanford would have done, because he wouldn't have been able to face Anthony. But I love the fact that, like, you finally see Anthony have some heart. Like, he didn't truly hate Stanford as much as
but he keeps it real, and for me, like going back to Miranda, like the whole Miranda storyline, oh my God, just stop. Like, it's so forced. It's so not her character. It's just not. You can't argue with me that that's
like
Miranda.
you're just saying that she just kind of like became like super like laissez-faire after she was serious.
No, not just that. Like, oh, I'm in love. Really, Miranda? You were the most cynical person in Sex and the City. Come on,
maybe it's people change.
People change. Okay, and then, like, Steve. Why did they do Steve dirty like that?
Like, he can't.
Like, they make it seem like he's 75 years old, Mesquine. Come on, man. Seriously.
You know what I love about Steve?
Like,
so
he's the sweetest person, and this is what they do to him.
So there was one thing where, like, and I love Steve's character, because Steve's character is like
he's so sweet.
Yeah, and I love Steve's character, but there was one scene where after Miranda tells him, like, she's leaving and she wants a divorce and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So there's like one scene with Steve's character where he and Carrie are like painting that homeless shelter or whatever. They're doing like a project together for like, if it's like a philanthropy project or whatever.
Yeah.
And he asks her if she knew, and I just was like, and he says something where, like, you know, I always come back and I always fight for us, and I just like I don't have it in me anymore to fight for us, and I'm like, you know what? Finally, the writers did something good for Steve, which they basically were like, you know what? Steve was like, I'm done. I'm over it. No, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, if you want to hang,
there's some
great.
Good
if you
lines.
don't want to go, great.
There's still some good lines. There's a few funny moments. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's just, I just don't think they, you know, people do change. I understand that, but
I loved the last scenes of like Carrie throwing Big's ashes into the river in Paris, and the fact that it was set to that you know, "Hello, It's Me," the Todd Rundgren song, which was like originally what they were listening to at the beginning of the season, and I was like, this is perfect. It's great. It's like a good way to send off like this. You know, and I'll tell you why. Because in the last,
you're too nice. She's too nice.
No, in the last season, I'm invested. I love Sex and the City. In the last season in the last episode of season 6, where Big goes to Paris to find Carrie, after she went to Paris to live with Alexander Petrovsky, it's on that bridge that he tells her that she's the one. And so it's a nice way to kind of end that chapter for her of Sex and the City. And I was like, okay, that's really good. Like, I love that. It's officially, like, it's over.
I mean, at least she stayed true to her character.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like
I don't think they can change Carrie, because I think so many people are like,
and Charlotte, for the most part,
Charlotte's exactly the same.
But like,
I love, there's this one part where she goes, where they were talking about how they're going through menopause, but she still gets her period.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, smug Charlotte is back," and I'm like, oh, smug Charlotte. I love, and that was a huge thing for them during the original show.
No, but I just think, going back to Miranda, come on, dude, she was the one that was always with this like witty remarks, strong personality.
I will say, I miss Samantha tremendously on the show.
Samantha made that show. Okay.
No.
Yes, she did.
No, she was like, 1/4 of what made the show.
You know what? She clearly knew what the hell she was doing and didn't sign up on this horrible project.
No,
okay?
I think it's horrible. You know, whatever it is, like, I call it is. No, I miss Samantha on the show, but I'm so happy for Kim Cattrall and How I Met Your Father. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
It is so good.
Okay, I should check that out because I like her. I think she's funny.
But let me see this. I think it's How I Met Your Father. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Here,
oh my god! I'm about to enter in my passcode into her phone.
Okay, and then the Rock storyline.
The what?
The Rock, the whole
her
fluid,
daughter,
whatever.
Yeah, well, this happens with kids nowadays.
I'm not talking about that. That's not my issue. You can do that, but you can do it in a way where it's not so cringeworthy. Really, Sharon?
Yeah, it is. I was right. It is How I Met Your Father. I've been watching 4,000 things, so like things get jumping on my head. Yeah, so she's like on How I Met Your Father.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Anyway, out of that show, I really hope they make some changes.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, so they have definitely. I think they've definitely probably heard.
They just need to get rid of Che. If they get rid of Che, I'm okay.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of Che.
They need to get rid of her. Oh my god, horrible character. I can't.
Why?
Just obnoxious. The whole character. No, I don't like it, and not with Miranda. If you had put her with anybody else, I'm okay with that.
But I honestly think.
You don't agree with me?
No, I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. Because I can kind of see this going one of two ways. First way is. So you know how you were saying earlier, Miranda's always been super cynical about love.
Yes.
And she like wants to shake things up
and
or whatever
this
season. Yeah. So I think I think this is gonna be like, you know, because like sometimes you have to make people have to experience things for them to realize that it's not what it's cracked up to be, right? So she has this like very routine, but honestly nice life with Steve.
Hold on.
Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
But nice life with Steve. She's about to give up her freaking like internship that is supposed to be amazing, right? She is gonna move to LA of all places. She's not LA, but I think she's gonna have the biggest letdown of her life. Like I think that's.
I mean, I see that coming. But look, really, you think at that age, okay, you're gonna just do stuff like that?
Yeah, some people get dumb as they get older.
Okay, I mean
not dumb. That's not the word.
That's the best way to
That's
describe
not
it.
what I meant to say. That's not what I meant to say. Freudian slip. But that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is some people become like your outlook on life changes, and you're like, no, life's too short.
Okay,
I'm gonna do whatever.
Here's my other issue, and then maybe we should just stop talking.
I know,
right? But
this episode's gonna be like 500 years long.
You're married. I'm married. We've been married for a long time, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that when there's an issue between you and your spouse, you're just gonna like not talk about it? Like how do you let something like that just happen?
I don't know. It's also a show, so
it's bullshit.
You know, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, right?
And like that scene in the kitchen between them. I'm like, why? Why do I need to? Why are you two so awkward? Since when are you two awkward with each other? Like you've been married all this time and you're awkward.
No. But they were awkward because don't you remember in the movie that they had followed up that Steve cheated on her. Steve cheated on her. In the first like sequel movie, there's so many things that have happened on that show. Like a lot of things.
I think they could have. It was a big disappointment for me because the
unlike Lina, I did my homework. I watched all 6 seasons and both movies before the show came out.
I mean, I saw them. I just don't remember. Like I saw a few more. Episodes,
no, like I rewatched, but it's honestly like you know how everybody has like a show that they put on.
You know
and
what
they
I think
watch
it
over
is?
and over again.
I think, and to sum it all up, I think the problem is like let's be real. Like when you look back at the show, and I've been looking at the original version.
Yeah,
there are a lot of moments where they were very politically incorrect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of comments.
Do you notice how much cigarettes they're smoking on the show?
Not just that, a lot of comments that if they said in today's world, I mean, they would get canceled immediately.
Yeah, they would.
Okay, so I think the writers or the creators, they wanted to kind of like erase that somehow or to kind of improve.
But you can't erase that. I think you address it and move on.
And then they're trying so hard.
Yeah, sorry.
To fix that they lost. Okay, yes, you can be more inclusive. Yes, you can be more respectful. Yes, you can be politically correct. I'm all for that. Respect everybody. All right, but it doesn't mean you take away from the true character of the true nature of these characters on the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So clearly we have very differing views on this, but I mean it's okay. But that's honestly.
But I'll still watch. I will always tune in. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like,
see, which means like a part of you is just dying to know.
Because I want to know how bad it's gonna be.
It's not gonna be bad. No, I honestly like. I think it's great. And for me, it was so like as somebody who is like a long time viewer and somebody who really loves that show. The one thing that I wanted to be done well was the story of Carrie and Big to end.
Yeah.
Right. And like, was I distraught? Like, yeah, I think I was like, I was on a flight back. I was on the flight back actually from Oklahoma. From Oklahoma. And I was watching episode 2 and I was like in tears on the plane. I was like, if anybody else is watching me watch this, they're going to think like, what's wrong with this woman? But I was just like, how did this happen? How could this happen?
Okay, before we start talking about this, because I know you watched the original series again, and I've been watching it too. Don't you think she should have ended up with Aiden?
Yes and no.
Yes and no, right?
Yes and no.
It's hard, right?
It's hard, and I'll tell you why. It's because like so Aiden was like perfect in every way.
Yeah,
every way
so
possible.
Sweet.
He was, but it's like she loved him and he loved her. But I think the thing with Big was just it was Big.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was just everybody has this one. It was her one love that just.
See, the first couple of episodes were still good.
What do you mean?
Like they were okay.
Oh,
like,
of this season.
Of this season, like it was like okay, like it was interesting.
Yeah.
Right. But then it just spiraled out of
control.
control.
And so it's like, which for me, and like it's fine, whatever. I mean, but I personally like. I think there's some great moments. I love the addition of the new characters. I don't think anybody will ever replace. I don't have an
issue with the new characters, but like just give them their like. I don't know. I feel like they should have meshed them in or like brought them into the story differently. I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with how they came in. Like it's like how you meet people in real life. They're a friend of a friend, right? But but that's how we met them. They're like it makes sense that like Seema and Carrie would become friends. She's a realtor and she's fun, right? And Seema is like to Carrie. Seema is like old New York. If you think about it, like Seema is kind of like where Carrie would have been had she not like gotten married and settled down. You know what I mean? Like she's still having fun. Yeah,
and I love Seema's character for that. And I do love the fact that like Seema is like she like smokes and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. And Carrie walks around in that crazy getup around the block.
Yeah, no, there's some funny moments. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my opinion. We should wrap this up.
Yeah, but anyway, so I would love to if you guys can like comment and tell us. One, we're gonna do the poll on Instagram, right? Because I really want to know like how you guys feel about the show.
You're responsible for that.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it.
Guys. All right. Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.